Greetings, friends. So the New Ager Doughty has released a video with the title, "The Vibration in the Middle East." And on his thumbnail, it says, "We need to talk." Like he's going to be addressing this serious issue. So I thought this was interesting because I haven't commented on the recent developments in the Eastern Mediterranean. And I do like to do critiques of New Agers. So I have not listened to anything he has to say, not even a sample. So let's have a look.
If you're seeing what's happening in the world right now with different conflicts, whether it's in the Middle East, whether it's in Russia, whether it's in any part of the world where there's war, conflict, and violence, and you're feeling as a result fear or sadness or anger, whatever emotion you're feeling, just understand it's okay to feel it. Part of all of this happening, I believe, it's allowing stuff that's been in the collective unconscious to come to the surface for us as a society.
Yeah, this is very standard crafted New Age speech because he's smart enough to realize this is an event I should probably address. Maybe people in his following feel one way or the other about it, I don't know, but you have to do it as a New Ager in the most vague terms, like just express and the collective unconsciousness releasing what needs to be released, and it's okay to just feel, and they're very big on feeling. It's always about feelings with them. What can feeling not include? What can feeling not include? It could be literally a lens to just completely absorb all of reality. That's why their whole concept of God lacks really no categories with these people.
Us as a civilization decide, is this the kind of energy we want to engage in? Is this the kind of energy that we want to have on our planet?
He's now making a point, but he's doing it in a passive-aggressive way. I mean, maybe I haven't given him enough time to speak, but he's saying, like, rhetorically, well, wouldn't there be a better way for us to utilize our energy on this planet? Because this is how his brand of New Age, or a lot of New Age, is just looking at depersonalizing humans into what he may call a unit of consciousness or a unit of energy, like you're a battery. So there's got to be a better way to use these human batteries on Earth, because they're just blowing themselves up right now. It's not an effective use of your spiritual kundalini to progress to the next level if you're just killing yourself, and then you just get to but there's no good and bad. Oh, there's no right and wrong, and it's your truth and what you feel. So it needs to be expressed at the same time. So does he have any foundation to even speak of whether violence would be right or wrong in the first place? No, he doesn't.
Or is there a perspective that goes beyond the separation that we may feel with each other?
I just noticed this with his channel. He constantly asks these hypothetical questions. It's like a standard formula for his video. Just ask these hypothetical questions. I bet he learned it in a seminar and he just thinks it's the best thing. But it's really obvious. Doughty, you gotta stop asking these stupid questions in your videos. If you have a position, just state it clearly. You don't need to rhetorically ask it to your audience.
The different stories, the different histories and pasts that we've had that keep us separated, is there a perspective that allows us to release that resistance and energy so that we can come more together?
Yeah, come together, how shall I say this? Well, I mean, it's sad what happened, but a rave was targeted by legitimate terrorists. I will admit that there were terrorists, but of all the people, they didn't like optically, and I gotta be careful here because this is a really touchy subject, but just in the vein of what he was saying there about like releasing your consciousness, man, it's kind of like the rave people, right? Like we're all one love. Oh, take some DMT or whatever kids do these days, or young people, liberals. There were liberals basically there. What we saw at that concert event was liberals. They're the same anywhere in the world. and Israel has a lot of liberals, and they were being killed by barbarians. I'm not on the side of either one of them. They're being killed by barbarians, but he doesn't realize here that he's not trying to dissolve all these boundaries, and then look what happens to those people who are just like, oh, you gotta, love, and then, well, someone's gonna come and kill you at some point, because that's not the happy reality we live in.
I believe with everything that's going on and the sadness that I feel, even just witnessing it, and then also talking about it. I went through a process over the last week of just learning about the whole perspectives of what's happening in the Middle East, for example. I found that I didn't understand a lot of it before I went into, even I made an Instagram, I went live on Instagram with the intention of sending love and peace to Israel. And when I did that, I did not realize how much polarization there was on the topic.
Now I see. He didn't realize, well, he was just out of touch. Hey man, aren't you big on energy and frequencies, and how are you out of touch with the vibration? You didn't pick up that there's a large Palestinian diaspora throughout the world, in pretty much every major city of the world. We get to see their protests along with the Israeli supporters. So as Oren McIntyre, the conservative commentator, has said, one of the benefits of diversity is that we get to see the expressions of ethnic feuds in every major Western city or major international city in the world, at least in the global American empire or the Anglosphere. We get to see these ethnic feuds, whether it's Israelis and Palestinian supporters, whether it's like Tamils and whoever the Tamils fight in South, I forget it, South Asia. I don't know, but the Tamils, and whether it's them or whatever feud it is, we get to experience that along with their cuisine. We get to experience the enrichment of their ethnic blood feuds.
Of sending love to a place that had just had a terrorist attack. And I realized that there's so many layers to this thing, and there's just a lot that I don't understand. But nonetheless, what I realized as well is that that's the sadness that I felt.
You know what, in that moment I will respect him. He did seem like he's genuinely admitting, yep, I don't understand everything about this. Hey, that's the first place to becoming Christian, man. Hey, with an attitude like that, you might, watch out, you might not be New Age anymore. You know where an attitude like that might lead you.
The sadness that I felt, the confusion that I felt, the shame that I felt myself for even wanting to talk about something that I didn't understand. What I realized, though, is what this is bringing up for me was the awareness of the energy inside of myself and the desire that I have for other people to end their own suffering. And I think that this also comes from a desire to end my own suffering.
Well, that sounded really dark. Now, you can't solve suffering in the world. It's part of the fallen condition of the world. That's the Christian paradigm. I guess the New Age paradigm is you can achieve something wonderful in this life. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to suffer. Just think your way out of it. Vibrate your way out of suffering. You're going to fall back into suffering. That's the sad reality of it.
Because all the outer reality is a reflection of our own inner reality. So if there's stuff that I'm able to perceive in different parts of the world, whether it's Ukraine and Russia, the Middle East, what's going on in different parts of the eastern side of the planet, if I'm able to perceive of it.
He's never going to think, in Russia and Ukraine, you know what? He's never going to say darn it, that side, they were the bastards. But by God, I support that side. He's never going to come to any position. He's always going to just try to sit on the fence and be higher. But this is what's so uniquely awful about the New Age, is how I transcend these divisions. I transcend that. It's very disingenuous. It's not real. I know why they do that. It's to make themselves seem so noble. So I guess if I'm criticizing him for not expressing a clear position, I will at least offer my position on this matter in the Middle East, which is that we should not get involved because Israel is not a friend of Canada or America or these other Western countries. I don't know why evangelicals worship Israel. It's not Israel is the Orthodox Church, the true Christians. So the modern state of Israel that's not what they think it is. And the Palestinians are not our friends either. Like radical Islam, it's not an overstatement to say that Hamas is a death cult. But at the same time, there's been genocide going on both sides. It's a very ugly situation. And why should we get involved? Haven't we been involved in enough foreign adventures? So yeah, that's my position on it.
And if at a deeper level everything's a reflection of the one consciousness that we all are, then what is it that am I perceiving of that I can begin to look at, to accept, to heal, to forgive within myself?
Okay, at this point, we all have to be honest. He's not using words to be clear. He's going on with these words, saying increasingly little. He's saying just enough to kind of pull us along here. Okay, heal, perceive. Well, he's not really making any statement about this issue because he doesn't want to.
When it comes to the collective consciousness, I believe that there are also thought forms.
Yeah, there it is again, collective consciousness, thought forms. It's all dehumanizing. You're just part of the collective consciousness. Consciousness, depersonalized, floating, nebulous consciousness. But yeah, what is it to the collective consciousness, what the Palestinians are doing or what the Israelis are doing? Why is that right or wrong either way in their paradigm? Why? They have no ultimate answer.
They call them pendulums. I have a tattoo about this idea. The idea of a pendulum is a thought form, a mass thought form that is fueled by thousands, if not millions of people that are all focused on one topic, on one group of people, on one culture. Anything that is focused on one intention or one thought form or concept, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, it fuels the thought form.
Okay, now he's just talking about mind over matter and how if we all focus on a certain thought, it fuels this thing into the cultural reality, into the psychic reality. Okay, so what has this got to do with anything? What, because everyone's focused on this event in the news, just like they've been focused on whatever was the current thing before that, and before that, and before that? Why is he talking about this now?
And a lot of times we may think we're thinking our own thoughts when in fact we may be thinking the thoughts of the thought form itself, which is fed and fueled by millions of people on the planet. So with what's happening, another thing to realize is some of the emotion, the energy you may be feeling may not even be just your own. But we're a part of this collective consciousness, and I believe there is something that we can do about this. I believe with the negativity in the media, and it always seems like there could be deeper layers to this in different ways where there's energy that's in a way provoked or instigated. Could be.
Like, what on earth is this guy saying? I believe with the negativity in the media, and there could be deeper layers to this. What?
The more we feed it, the more we fuel it, the more fear and anger we feel, at the same time, the much easier we are to control. And I believe that when we come together, because right now everyone's sending the thought forms and the energy towards the Middle East of fear, anger, sadness. And while it's good to feel it within ourselves, I believe that we can unify our energies together and put that towards that of the Middle East with an outcome in our minds of feeling grateful for a reality where there is peace and love in the Middle East.
So he finally moves towards the vaguest semblance of a position where he says, yeah, we kind of need peace. You know, I'm being charitable. He didn't even say it, but he's like, yeah, we need peace, and that means like bringing our energy together in a way where we can be grateful for love and peace. Like a very circular way of thinking. Let's just have peace by being grateful for love and peace. Hasta luego, amigos.